What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? Guys, we are here to talk about the Acolyte episodes 1 and 2, and I will be your host for tonight, Emanuel Noisette. Thank you all so much for joining. I know that this is a little last minute. The show does come on, I want to say on Tuesday night, so just so you know, we will be going live on Wednesdays. Unfortunately, I had two screeners, an interview, and some other stuff that I had to do. So, of course, make sure you tune in later. You'll be able to get all that stuff. So I had to kind of push it over to today. And that's why we're doing this a little bit later. But we will be doing this on Wednesdays. So that way I can give you guys that full 24 hours. Go ahead, watch the show, let it marinate, and then we'll talk about it every Wednesday night. But again, this week I had some stuff come up, so I had to push it till today. What else? Yeah, so we're talking about that. Of course, we're going to be talking about the first 2 episodes. Now, the first 2 episodes released on Disney Plus, so you can go check them out if you haven't. But I got to let you guys know, as we do most times, almost every time, we are doing a full recap, breakdown, thoughts, reactions to the episode. So that is your spoiler alert. We will be going through the episode. We will be revealing things. So if you have not seen it, this is the time where you just catch us on the replay. And that's okay too. Shout out to the replay gang. But if not, if you don't care and you just want to be here and hang out, that's cool too. I'm not mad at it. So let's do a couple quick shout outs. I know this is super last minute, and yes, I need to go watch the finals as well. So I might be going a little fast. Okay, we might not be here for no 4 or 5 hours. I want to go see them finals and see what happens. So let's see who's here, and we will get through this. So Eric, what's up? I see you doing the replay gang. All good. My man Corey's here. How you doing? Pam, good to see you. My man Tane is here. Philroy, what is up? Talented one, good to see you. My man Sean is back. Good to see you. The Copper, how you doing? Theo, what is going on? T-Ville, what is up? Christy, good to see you. Tyra, hello. Extraordinaire, good to see you as well. And Black Sands, I see you. What is up? So, guys, again, we're just going to go through this. We'll talk about it. And then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program and go ahead and probably go watch the NBA. Anyway, all right, so let's start off with episode 1. We kick off with 100 years before the rise of the Empire. It is a time of peace. The Jedi Order and Galactic Republic have prospered for centuries without war. But in the dark corners of the galaxy, a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. One of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to seek revenge. So we're getting the layout. We're getting the context here of the settings. The Jedi have basically been in control, and they've been the peacekeepers. Well, hold on, let me put that up there. They've been the peacekeepers for centuries. Okay, so this is something that's been going on for a long time. This is when the Jedi supposedly are at their peak. And this is 100 years. When did they say it was 100 years? Before the rise of the Empire. So before episode 1, this is where, so before Anakin's born and all that, it's 100 years before that. So this is where we also, at this point, they don't know anything about the dark side. That doesn't exist, at this point. The Jedi are the main ones that deal with things. They're the go-to authority when it comes to the Force. And that probably is why you see a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. So in other words, if somebody else is using the Force, if you're not a Jedi, what are you doing? I'm not saying you are outlaw, but it is something that's kind of like, wait, what's going on here? So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's happening, why it's happening, just to give all the necessary context. So, of course, we start off, there was an assassin here, and boom, we kick it off right there. This masked assassin rolls up on a master Jedi, and she was like, yo, put him up right now. I'm ready to square up. I'm not playing. Let's go. And the Master Jedi was like, listen, go on somewhere. Okay. Jedi don't attack people. You know, we not doing that. But the assassin was like, nah, forget that. I want all the smoke right here, right now. Let's square up. Let's go. Jedi was like, I mean, if you want the smoke, we can go, but you ain't finna do nothing. You know, like, didn't you know I was in the Matrix? Yo, shout out to Carrie-Anne Moss. You know, Trinity was in the building. She came through. She remembered all her techniques from the Matrix. And, you know, I like this fight. This opening scene was pretty cool. And immediately, as we mentioned, because the Force is something the Jedi tend to, you know, have authority over, the very first question was like, wait a minute, who trained you? Because you clearly weren't trained by no Jedi the way that you fighting like this. So this is a big deal at this time because, again, it's assumed that only the Jedi are able to train or are skilled at this level, especially if the person is also a Force user. They have the monopoly on that. So again, you see at almost every turn, this Master Jedi is besting the assassin, and she unmasks her. And right from the jump, she's like, whoa, wait a minute. She recognizes her, and she's like, you know what? Like, why are you here? Like, what is going on? But you do see the assassin and you know, the Jedi. She's clearly sitting here like, I don't know about all this. Like, I really don't want to go here, but she has to pull out her blade, you know, her lightsaber. And you know, the assassin calls it out. She says, look, Jedis only pull out their weapon unless they are ready to kill. And that makes the Jedi Master, you know, retract her lightsaber because she's not trying to kill. She really does not want to fight and kill this young girl, especially since she recognizes who this girl is. The girl looks over, she sees the bartender and throws the knife or throws the blade at the bartender, but the Jedi Master stops it. And this is exactly part of her plan. And that gives her an opportunity to kill this Jedi Master. And right there, grand opening, grand closing, Carrie-Anne Moss, aka Trinity, aka Master Endar, is gone. Just like that. I was not a fan of this. I loved, first of all, y'all had me at ninjas. Ninjas with the Force should have been there from day one. So I was already here for this, okay? Already here for it. But the fact that you're gonna bring Carrie-Anne Moss, you're gonna have her come in. I'm sitting here getting the Trinity vibes and everything, and then you do her like this so fast. Come on, man. But you know, that's it for her. So she's out of here. I guess she didn't want to be in here for too long. And you know, the assassin goes, she's about to kill the bartender now. But she does notice that the bartender has a child, and she goes ahead and reluctant, and she pulls away. She leaves. And I think that this kind of gives us a little bit of depth into this character and what she's all about. Because the fact that she's willing to pull away and not, you know, kill this bartender because of the kid, I think it shows that obviously she has some sort of goodness still inside of her somewhere, somehow. But we do go back, and now we see what appears to be the same girl, and her name is Osha. She's on a ship, and it seems like she is a mechanic, and I believe that is some sort of repair person. But first of all, I got questions. Why the repair people only black? Star Wars. Didn't y'all make Finn a whole space janitor stormtrooper? Why the repair people gotta be black? I'm just saying. Where's Dr. Umar? Why they gotta be black? I'm just kidding. I need y'all to settle down. Don't go pulling out the pitchforks. Okay. I know Juneteenth is coming up. I'm just joking. Okay. I'm just joking. But for real though, why they out there? Why is it? I'm just playing. Let me move on. Anyway, we see a fire break out, and it triggers a memory for Osha. A young version of Osha, you can hear, is screaming for some girl named May and her mother. At this point, it seems as though her sister and mother probably died in some sort of fire or accident. And this, of course, is very, very triggering for Osha. Next, we see that Jedi Knight Yord comes in with another Jedi looking for a Jedi. He was about to mind trick them and figure out, where she was and get her location. But they started talking and they snitched immediately. They were like, look, she downstairs, take 2 doors to the left. You can't miss her. Okay. We're not trying to mess with y'all Jedi like that. So Yord comes in and he wants to bring her in after the murder of Master Indara. Osha claimed that she left the Jedi about 6-something years ago, but she didn't kill no Indara. That ain't her, And we learned that she was brought into the Jedi Order when she was a little bit older, and it was after a traumatic life event. Now, if this sounds familiar, it should, because what's going on with Osha is basically what sounds like the making of Anakin Skywalker. Keep in mind that the Jedi have always had a policy of, if they detect a child or someone with Force abilities, they want those kids super young, like 3-4 years old. So that way they can start training them into the matters of the Force and so on. So if you come in a little bit older, the problem that you have is that you start having attachments. And this was one of the biggest issues with Anakin. Anakin, he had already grown accustomed to his mother. He already had attachments. He already learned. He didn't learn how to disassociate or disattach himself from people. So one of the bigger problems is when it comes to the Force, if you have emotions, it can lead you. It can be a pathway into the dark side. So it could, listen, you know how they say love will make you do crazy things. This is why they want to get them kids when they're young. So it just leads into basically why they suspect Osha, because she had a troubled path. She didn't come in the conventional way like other people when they were young and Padawans. So this, of course, raises a lot of eyebrows, and it makes her a prime suspect, basically. And when this happens, as they're talking, the same bartender that we saw earlier, he comes in and he IDs Osha as the assassin. And just like that, she gets arrested and taken away by the Jedi. So, this is definitely some turn of events that's happening. Hold on. I got one little thing here. Let me get this real quick. I've got some love shown here. Oh, man. Hold on. First of all, oh, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm going to have to shout them out later. But I want to say thank you so much to Low Key for last week's $25 Cash App. Thank you so much. I'm going to send some love. And today's support of $20. Thank you so much, Low Key. You said I'm so behind on this show. Well, Loki, it's all right. It just started. So you're not really behind. You still got time to catch up. It's all good. But thank you so much. And shout out to you for continuously allowing this channel to be ad-free, so that we ain't got to be, throwing ads and stuff. So thank you so much for that support. I really do appreciate you. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so Osha got arrested. Now we do get introduced now to Master Vernestra and Master Soul, Jedi Master Soul. Now Vernestra basically tells him that they capture Osha as a suspect, and Soul is basically rocked by this news, and it's apparent that he still has some attachment because this was his former Padawan. But he doesn't believe that Osha actually did the charges that she was accused of. Now, while on board the prisoner ship, We do see different criminals here. OSHA does try, the prisoners are basically planning an escape. And as they're planning this escape, they do manage to get out, but they leave OSHA there because she's a Jedi killer, and they just like, yeah, forget that. We're not trying to mess with you. As she does try to free herself, we see that she tries to tap into the Force to get her droid Pip, but it's not working. She can't get Pip. She can't tap into it. So it seems as though after leaving the Jedi for 6 years or so, she's probably also disconnected from the Force as well. And you know what? This feels like a pretty obvious setup for some moment later on where we're going to get some heroic instance of her finally reconnecting with the Force and finally stepping up. I mean, we saw this with Sabine in Ahsoka, who couldn't tap into the Force. She kept trying and trying, and then magically at the very end, she was able to do it. So I guess that's where we're going with this. Whatever. But anyway, before she leaves, she does notice that the other criminal, who's a mass murderer apparently, is still there, and she backs up and she's like, you know what? I can't leave him here. So she's like, all right, bet, I'm gonna go ahead and free you. So she frees him from his bondage. And as she does that, he's like, all right, bet, thanks a lot, I'm gone. And he took the last pod, left her there, screwed her over, and now she is on this ship that's about to crash land by herself on her own. And once again, as we saw earlier, this probably shows that OSHA has a good side to her, and that clearly it's so good that she was willing to free a mass murderer, a criminal, to spare them from dying in this crash. So more character development or insight. Now let's see. We see that as Master Soul is kind of reminiscing, that's a picture or a hologram of OSHA while she was his Padawan, and he's just kind of reflecting, remembering the time and all that. His other Padawan, Jackie, comes to get Master Soul, and they get word about what's going on with OSHA, that she's been captured. He gets informed about this, so he goes and approaches the criminal that they captured, and he Jedi mind tricks him into finding out what happened. And of course, he discovers that he left her in the pod, and that the ship was going to crash land or whatnot. So we see that OSHA survives the crash, but we also see a mysterious figure, and OSHA decides, let me go chase after it. The figure turns out to be OSHA's little sister, May, but she starts to hallucinate about her home world. And we see OSHA and May in her home world. It's on fire, which correlates back to the stories that we heard about. And we see now that, they're both young girls. And this, OSHA is on the left and May is on the right. But this picture of her sister apparently seems kind of dark. And this sister, I don't know, hallucination, illusion, whatever, was like, yeah, I'm about to kill them all. I'm killing everybody. Everybody got to die right now. Okay. And then, of course, OSHA wakes up. So on the Jedi ship, Jackie tells OSHA, Soul tells Jackie, his Padawan, that OSHA actually had a twin sister, but she died in a fire that May started. So we're getting a little bit more context to the story. So this was a fire on OSHA's home planet. Her twin sister, May, apparently died. But, we're seeing, OSHA have these hallucinations or whatnot about it. But now that it's confirmed that we're dealing with twins, can we talk about the elephant in the room? because I just help me out. Help me out. We know that they're twins, okay? At the very least here. How are y'all fraternal twins, but then when y'all grow up, y'all are identical twins? Star Wars, y'all couldn't find two actual twins? Y'all couldn't, I mean, I don't even think you need twins. You couldn't just copy the actress, the little kid actress? I'm just saying, it don't add up. How y'all don't look alike when y'all kids, but then y'all identical twins as you grow up? What is happening? Who did this casting? I'm just saying, you had one job. You had one job to get two peoples. I'm just saying, like, was it just me? Did I listen, I'm here for all the opportunities. Okay, get those little girls some work. I'm just saying, y'all couldn't find two twins? Okay, all right, maybe. All right, whatever. I don't know. It was a little weird to me. Yes. So, talented one, what you got? I was hoping this would be a split personality. How have we gotten a light side, dark side, bipolar Jedi Sith by now? How have we not gotten that? You know what? I will be honest with you. I was a little disappointed that they just threw the twin thing out there just like that. Like, in the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking like, ooh, maybe she got a twin, or maybe she's, got a split personality, or maybe there's something deeper. No. It's just no. Twins. Twin, where have you been? Like, that was it. They didn't even, it was just like, I'm not going to call it lazy writing, but I will say that, like, dang, y'all couldn't have think of nothing else. That was it. Just, y'all couldn't have stretched that just a little bit longer, add a little mystery to it. Like, middle of the episode, twins. Yep. That's it. I mean, we've been down this road. What was it? Luke and Leia. Y'all doing this again? We going down that same path? All right. We'll see. House of Boo. Thank you so much for that, talented one. Late to the show, did you already talk about Yard Fandar, aka Maxter Braxton Heartbreak? He does, listen, that's Braxton with the Killmonger haircut. That's definitely Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show with the Killmonger haircut. I don't know why this Killmonger haircut is so popular. I don't know why they giving all of that all the time, but whatever. But anyway, all right, listen, hey, we got twins. They didn't look alike when they was kids, but apparently now they look alike. I don't know why. Budgets, I don't know. Anyway, we see hold on, what else? Oh, okay. So now May, she woke up. I guess she's I don't know why she's walking towards the edge of a cliff. Like, this makes no real sense to me. But Soul does end up finding her. And of course, when you walk on the edge of a cliff that's snowy and slippery, you about to fall. So she falls, but Soul saves her. And he was just like, yo, what up? Good seeing you. Long time no see. And it's all good and all that. But we go back to now May. And we see that she's on a location, but she's talking to somebody, and it's now her mysterious master. And this mysterious master said that if you attack a Jedi without a weapon, you fail. Acolytes should be able to kill a Jedi without a weapon. And of course, right off jump and on cue, bam, we see the red lightsaber so clearly. And this is obviously the villain and the one who trained May in these dark arts. That was episode 1 of The Acolyte. Now, I gotta say, I think that Disney Lucasfilm knew that one episode was not going to be enough. It was not going to be enough. And it's a good thing that they at least dropped 2 episodes to give a little bit more context. It's at least a good thing. But this is the time where I have to ask you guys, what did you think on a scale from 1 to 10 about episode 1? Let me know in the comments, what is your review of the first episode? So far, I would say that, listen, the opening with the Master Jedi, loved it. You got the ninjas, you got the fights. I'm cool with that. Like I said, I was disappointed with the whole twin reveal. Like, it felt a little premature. Because I think this only has 8 episodes. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it has 8 episodes. So I still think that they could have stretched the twin theory or the twin reveal a couple, maybe an episode or 2 longer, maybe. I think they could have made the mystery overall so far more compelling. Because clearly something happened in Osha and May's past that we need to find out. With this whole fire, because obviously Osha believes that May is dead. We don't know what's going on with what really happened. But at least it does end with the reveal of the villain. First time we see a real dark side user, so maybe that's something. So when it comes to my rating, I think that for an intro, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I wasn't blown away. They didn't completely lose me. It was okay. It was fine, for an intro episode. So I'm giving it a 7. But let's see where y'all are at with it. We got an 8, 7.5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 7, 6, 3, 7.5, and a 3. Okay. All right. 7 and 6.5. Yeah, that opening did kind of help. It did kind of help. To me, a 7 is like a C. It's passing. It just passes. 7 out of 10. That's fine. I'm not that type that believes a 6 is okay. 6 is like, I almost skipped you. 6 for me is not, I need a little bit more if I'm gonna give you an okay. 7. Okay, what else we got? 6, 8, 6, 7.5, 7, 7. All right, cool. No, 5 is not average for me. 5 is a fail. 5, I go off of a grading scale of, if you get like a 5 out of 10, to me, that's an F. So that's not just okay. If y'all grade differently, that's fine. That's not how I grade. So that's just to give you some context. All right. Let's go with episode 2. So now we have, let's see. Let me grab this real quick. All right. So episode 2, we jump right back into it. We do see May, now that we know that the twins are a thing. May is entering a building and she finds Master Torben meditating. And she does her best. She's like, yo, I want all the smoke. Let's go. Put them up. But all of her efforts are basically not working. And she tries to attack him. And apparently he has some sort of force barrier all around him. And it's just not going anywhere fast. Now, in case y'all didn't know, that's the same dude from Game of Thrones. God, what was his name? He was Cersei's son, Joffrey's younger brother. He played him. So I don't know, in case anybody cared. But yeah, all of her attacks were not working. It wasn't happening. So she had to bounce and get up out of there. Yord, back on the ship, is protesting about keeping Osha on the ship. He don't trust her. He still believes that she was the one responsible for killing Jedi Master Indara. And if the twin theory is true, he's like, yo, they might be working together, and Soul told him, hey man, shut up, go home, Roger. We ain't trying to hear that right now. I believe Osha ain't got nothing to do with it. Relax. Okay. So they do end up setting course. for Alega after getting some intel that May could be out there. Osha does mention, and she knows that Jedi Master Torben is located there as well. So we find out that May goes to Kamir asking him to make her a weapon to kill Master Torben. Now, Kamir basically is May's pusher, I guess, supplier. He mentions that she's also going to have to kill a Wookiee Jedi, and we learn that after Torben, May needs to kill 2 more Jedi after that. So she has to kill one of them, but she has to kill one of them without a weapon, according to her master. So he gives her that juice, gives her that stuff, to do it, and it's basically poison that will kill the Jedi. Back on the ship, Sol said that he wanted to save both Osha and her sister in the past, but he did end up failing. He was not able to do it, and it was Osha that he was able to only save. But Osha doesn't blame him. She told him that, look, it's cool. It wasn't your fault. It is what it is. So all the Jedi now, they arrive on the planet to visit Master Jedi Torben. And while they're there, they find the little girl that May had paid earlier to let her into the building. And she also IDs Osha as the same person that she, let in previously. Now, May returns back to Torben, and she demands that he does 2 things: either confess his crimes to the council or seek forgiveness from her for what he did or what they did in the past. That woke him up. My man said, "Oh, I'm here now. I'm what's up?" Now, I forget what it's called. I think it's called the Oath of Barash or Barak or something like that. Basically, it's like this oath that Jedi take to take penance or to, reconnect themselves with the Force. So what y'all saw with Torben kind of surrounded by the Force like that, it's like a super Jedi monk type of practice where they don't talk to nobody, they don't do nothing. It's just them being one with the Force, and that's it. Like they're trying to just center themselves. So that's why you saw him just not being bothered until May came forward with this proposition and basically, put this forward to him and was like, yo, you got to make a choice. What you gonna do, with this whole thing? You can either, ask me for forgiveness or go confess your crimes. And he said to her, I asked for your forgiveness, but we thought we were doing the right thing. And he did. So now this really begs the question, like, yo, what did these Jedi do? Because this implies that obviously we're dealing with some sort of gray area, some morally gray situation that happened where the Jedi did something maybe very shady or whatever, but according to them, they thought they were doing the right thing. What exactly did they do to May? Because it was, listen, whatever they did, she took that personally, because she was like, you can go confess, but you could confess to me. You could ask me for my forgiveness. So clearly they did her wrong. But what stands out the most to me is that whatever it is that they did, it was so bad that my man didn't even want to confess to the Jedi Council. He was like, nah, I'd rather die. I'd rather kill myself. What did you do that would make you want to kill yourself? Like, what were the Jedi going to do? The Jedi probably would have stripped him of his rank, or they probably would have, put him in jail. Bro, you ready to die over that? Yo. So whatever it was a lot, clearly. But now we see that Osha comes in and she's at the dead body. But before they could pin the murder on her, Yord backs her up because he said, yo, I was following her because I didn't trust her. She didn't do it. But she does recognize that the poison that was used on Torben was a poison that came from her own planet. So this pretty much confirms that, or gives them another lead that May is alive. Now the Jedi, they do go through and they're having a plan to try and capture May. And Yor tried to give a plan about that was basically a typical Jedi protocol, and that immediately got rejected because ain't nobody trying to listen to Yord right now. Jackie, on the other hand, she comes up with a plan, and she was like, yo, we found May's pusher, but we can use Osha to basically pretend to be May, and that way we can get the information on the pusher and more info that way. So they said, I bet we gonna go with that. And Soul was like, yo, I'm gonna give her a little piece, give her this 45. She gonna hold this, she got this. May, Osha was like, it's all good, I got y'all, I'm with it. Okay, I'm with it. So she goes in, she pretends basically to be May. She does start talking to Kamir, but Kamir starts to, get a little suspicious. Now, May Osha does get the information that she needed, but when the jig is up, he confessed that she just wants revenge. He confessed that May only wants revenge. He does not know the identity of her master. But there was an important clue here that we'll talk about a little bit later. But Kamir, hold on. No, we're not doing that. No. This is why you was downstairs. Relax. You already peed on the floor. Thought we wasn't going to talk about that, huh? Embarrassing. Sorry. Where was I? Okay. So he basically was spilling all the beans. He doesn't know who the master is. But he does, we do get a clue, and we'll talk about that later. Kamir does say that May will return later on that night, and that the Jedi can get her at that point, so he basically gave them an opportunity to set her up. And they was like, I bet we're going to set her up and catch her later. Now, Osha, she wants to confront May. She really wants to confront her sister because she blames her sister for a lot. But Soul insists on confronting her. You gonna stop? You're being rude. Sheesh. That's why I don't take you nowhere. Sorry. Soul, he insists that he's gonna confront May himself. And Osha reveals that, listen, out of the 4 Jedi that May wants dead, Soul is one of them. So this is clearly a dangerous situation. Soul confronts May, and without hesitation, on sight, you know what it is, okay? It's action right there. She wants all the smoke. Now, as they're fighting, clearly this is a mismatch. This ain't going the way that she wants it to go at all. And one thing that was interesting, Soul said that like whoever trained her misunderstood the Jedi arts, and that her master has failed her. Now, of course, this is implied because everything that May is trying to do is just not working. So she clearly wasn't trained enough to go against a Jedi master or a knight or anything like that. But I think that what's interesting about what Soul said is that it might imply that, May's master probably was a former Jedi or someone trained by the Jedi, because the fighting style or whatever that May is doing is clearly recognizable by Soul. It's not something that's catching him, and it wasn't catching the former Jedi Master Indara by surprise either. So she's using crude techniques that I think are kind of giving Jedi vibes. Anyway, Soul tries to basically use his Jedi mind probe to figure out who the master is, but the master has hidden their identity even from May. So she doesn't know who it is, so she can't really, there's no way that he can get that information from her. He also reveals to her that her sister Osha is alive. And May doesn't want to hear that because she doesn't believe it. She's thinking that, Osha is dead. So this whole time, maybe her revenge or whatever could have been fueled by that, but she was very startled by this. Now, of course, she gets confronted by the rest of the Jedi. She says, "Yo, ninja, vanish," and she's out of there. As she's running away, she stops and sees her sister Osha. They both take a look at each other. They're both confronted with the truth that they are both alive. And Osha was just like, "Man, listen, it is what it is." And she shoots her shot. And of course, May escapes at that point. So Kamir he realizes that he is now under surveillance by the other Jedi. And May quickly confronts him for selling her out. Now, there's something here we'll talk about in just a second, but he said that he can get them out of there, off the planet, or out of that city, and bring her to the planet Kofar, where the Wookiee Jedi resides. Keep in mind that Wookiee Jedi is the other person on May's hit list that she has to go kill. And as we go to Kofar, we see two scavengers or people trying to steal from this Jedi's place. And bam, that ain't gonna happen. Why? Because the Master Jedi Wookiee is there to stop all of that. And that is the end of episode 2. So now a couple things to consider. I think the prevailing mystery here now is, who is May's master? Who is this evil entity or whatever? And there are two things I want y'all to consider. Two things. One, I'm wondering, and let me know if y'all got a different theory, but I'm wondering if May's master could actually be Kamir. Could it actually be this guy in disguise? Now, if you watch, he does seem very, unsuspicious or unsuspecting. Like, he's like, "Man, I'm just the pusher. I'm just the supplier. I'm nothing." Now maybe that is true. But what stood out to me was like, listen, I don't know no master. I'm sorry. I don't know any supplier that could take an assassin and counter them that easily. Like, remember when May tried to come at him and attack him, he quickly flipped her and was like, no, chill out. I'm just saying, he could be playing that role of like, yeah, I'm just the unsuspecting drug pusher. I ain't nobody, but he could be the master in disguise. Maybe. So y'all let me know what you think about that. But here's the other thing. And I'm going to be disappointed if this is the case. I will be disappointed. One thing that I feel like could be a dead giveaway, and maybe y'all noticed this too. One, when they showed us the master at the end of the last episode, what did they do? Or what did you hear? You heard a very altered voice, right? Clearly, we're doing some Darth Vader vibes, or whatever, right? So the voice is altered. Not only is the voice altered, we don't have an idea of like who or what this master is, right? The thing that I felt like was the dead giveaway is the fact that everybody, from May, from Kamir, from Soul, from Osha, everybody that talks about the master says that it's a he. They keep referring to the master as a he. This just gives me the impression that the big reveal is that basically the master is actually a she. This is almost like what happened in Black Widow. When Black Widow came and with Taskmaster. Oh, who's Taskmaster? I don't know who he is. I don't want to mess with him. Oh my gosh, it's a woman. Like, come on, man. Come on now. Like, so listen, I hope that they're better than this. That's my hope. I hope. I like the Kamir theory. If it's Kamir, I don't think given the fact that they just revealed the whole twin thing so easily, I don't know if this show is going to be all that sophisticated. And I will just say that whatever the end of this series is, to me, a lot of it is not going to be dependent on the action. I don't think that this show is going to be delivering that much. I think it has decent action so far, but it's clearly not relying on it. It's going to rely on the mystery, whatever it is. So we'll have to wait and see if this mystery can be good enough to help it stick the landing at the end. But this is the point where I need you guys to let me know, what did you think about the end of episode, or what did you think about episode 2 on a scale from 0 to 10? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Let me know what you think. I do think that it was better than the second episode. Like I said, better than the first episode. I'm glad that they released both episodes for us to see. I'm just hoping the mystery is not as obvious, because I don't want it to be predictable. I'm hoping it's not. What did I give the last one? I gave it a 7. I'm probably gonna give this episode a 7.5. It's a little better. I guess we'll see. We'll see if she can take on another. Well, is it? Hold on. 7.5 feels a little generous. No, this wasn't too bad. No, I'll leave it at a 7.5. It wasn't too bad. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna trip over that. But whatever. It's not something that's making me excited. Like, listen, and I've told y'all this is the test, right? Is this a show that makes you want to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to watch? Now, it does come on at night on Tuesday nights, but is it a show that you like, man, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on the dot, I'm there? I'm not getting that vibe. Like, listen, I might watch it on Wednesday morning. I might watch it a little bit later. I don't know if this is a show so far that's making me want to rush to go see it like X-Men 97, right? So it's okay so far. It's not exciting, but let me see where y'all are at with it. We got an 8, 7, 8, 7, 8.5, 6.5, 6, 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 7. What else we got? 7, 7.5. Okay, that's cool. Oh, wait, I just saw Tasman. Hold on, Tasman. I think Tasman, thank you so much. I'm glad I caught you. Yes, same one. I'm making sure. Thank you so much for that $50 Cash App. You put that in the chat. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much, Tasman. I really do appreciate it. I'm sending some love right back to you. Appreciate that contribution and support. Thank you so much. All right, guys. That's it. I don't know if this is a strong start for this. I don't know if this is a strong start. I was really, really excited for the premise of the Acolyte. Remember when we were hearing news about it, they was like, yo, this is like Kill Bill meets Frozen. Whoa! I don't see a lick of that right now. The closest we got is a ninja fighting woman. That's all the Kill Bill I've seen. That's it. How many fights we get? We get one good fight per episode. That's about it. I don't know. Listen, it's gonna be. I'm gonna give it a chance. But I will not say that this is a strong start. Not a strong start. It's okay, but it ain't strong. Anyway, guys, that's it. I appreciate you for taking your time hanging out with me. Once again, we'll be back here on Wednesday nights, unless something comes up. But Wednesday nights, we'll be here. We'll talk about the next episode Next one is episode 3. It comes out on Tuesday night, so I'm giving y'all 24 hours to check it out. Let it marinate. Yeah, we'll be back here. Make sure you tune in this Friday. That's tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. I've got a couple reviews to do for you. I'm probably gonna do The Watchers and Bad Boys 4. So if you saw some of my other videos, I already gave a couple quick reactions. So I'll give some I'll do my reviews on Friday for you guys at that point. So make sure you see it then. But enjoy. I'll see you guys later. Go watch the NBA Finals. That's what I'm about to go do right now. And I'll see you guys on Friday. All right, y'all. Peace.